Hey everyone, Ariel Adams here with theblogtree.com. Another watch review. This is the Frederique Constant Healey Chrono. I'm being quiet to see if you can hear the ticking, because this watch comes with a stopwatch, or what they call a stop timer. Why they call it a stop timer versus a stopwatch, your guess is as good as mine. So, according to Frederique Constant, they make this stop timer. And it's kind of traditional in operation. You see here this thing on the back. That's how you wind it. It's like a key kind of on those old alarm clocks. And there's 3 pushers. And it's interesting because you think if it's a chronograph, it only needs 2 pushers, right? One for starting and stopping, one for resetting. Well, it's kind of separated here, and maybe that's how it used to be. So you have one that starts and then another one that stops. So the same button doesn't start and stop. So right now it's operating, and you can probably hear those ticks. So you can stop it. Oh, there we go. And then start it again. And the reset button doubles as a flyback, which is pretty neat. A flyback is basically meaning that you can start the chronograph from the start without having to stop it first. So if you want to start something in really quickly, you just push that flyback. This is cool. I mean, I don't know how much people will use the stop timer that comes with the watch, but it's neat. I would have really liked for the buttons to be labeled, because I swear I keep forgetting which is which. And a problem is that if you're seriously timing something, I don't know why you'd use a mechanical stopwatch these days. If you're seriously timing something, you accidentally might reset it when you meant to start it or something like that, because you forget what buttons are placed where. But it's cool. I like that they added this thing. It would have been neat to see the movement. A lot of these old things have a little, like a pocket watch. The back opens up, and you can see the movement. You can't see the movement here, but it's neat. And on there, it's got the back. It's got the logo of the Healey Drivers Club, which is pretty neat. I mean, this watch, the basic principle is that it's sort of a relationship that Frederique Constant has with the Healey Challenge, which is a race in the UK where they drive Austin Healeys, which are fun little British roadsters. So this is a watch. This is, I think, the 2nd generation of it, and this is called the chocolate version because it's rose gold PVD tone. So it's a tone, but it's actually done pretty well. And the dial is not black. It's a dark brown, which they call chocolate, and that brown is mirrored on here. You can see it's the same color. I think this is a very pretty watch. I've always admired this watch ever since the first time I wrote about it. And having it and holding it and wearing it, my opinion has not changed. The design has a couple of quirks that I think could be improved, but the ownership experience is very, very nice, which I quite like. First, the case. Very elegant style, nice shape, almost reminds me of a larger version of a Rolex Datejust. I like the curvature of the lugs there, feels smooth, and one thing I like about it is that the shape of the case helps enhance the polish, so you really get the impression this is a nicely polished watch, which I like. Dial's good looking, easy to read. The chronograph hands are a little small, and there's not a lot of lume on this watch. The hands have 2 very small, thin strips. And interestingly enough, the strips are the exact same size as if it would be you put in tritium gas tubes, which Frederique Constant uses on other watches. So I say, why doesn't it just have tritium gas tubes? Maybe they're planning on that. These hands might be used in another watch they use called the Hour Vision, I think, and the Hour Vision does use tritium gas tubes. So maybe they'll put those in a future model, or they're just repurposing the hands. I like that the Healey logo is right there on the dial. That's fun. It's just a great looking retro dial, and it's cool. The hands could be a little larger. There's a couple little things like that, but overall it's a good looking dial. I think anyone can stand behind this thing, and there's a little bit of texture on the pushers there, which again is mirrored in the stop timer. On the back is nice. You get to see that logo once more. There's a little window there for the automatic movement. You can see the rotor moving around it. Right where the window is where the escapement is, which is what they call a open heart type of deal. Usually that's on the dial, but here as you can see the escapement moving, and it was cool to use a little window there so that they could put the logo on there. That's something I quite like. There's also a serial number on there. While it's not a limited edition per se, each watch is individually numbered, which is, I guess, like in between being unlimited and being limited edition. So this one is not limited, but everyone has a special number on there, and that's kind of cool. So inside the watch is a Swiss ETA Valjo 7750 automatic movement. Works fine. You know, it's a workhorse movement. A lot of watches have it. I like it. It would have been nice to have some Luma, the chronograph hands. The chronograph adds a great style to the watch, but is best used in light situations. The good news is that the subdials are easy to read, so when you're measuring something, you're not confused as to exactly what you're timing, and that is positive. One thing I have, which is a complaint, is the crown. It looks fine, the integration, but it's really rough to turn. So it is an automatic, and you're probably not going to be turning the crown that often, but if it's been sitting on a bureau or something like that, and you want to pick it up and hand wind it, you really got to get in there and kind of like just, you really got to work it. It kind of hurts your fingers a little bit. I wish they would have made it a little bit easier to spin the crown. Pulling out the crown is fine if you want to adjust the watch. That's not a big deal, but it's just it's a little rough. The 7750 is not known for being the easiest to wind, and this one, just the crown design, makes it just that much harder to do. The strap is a dark brown, which matches pretty well the dial. It's leather, and it's got that perforated look with those big perforations. Look at that. Is that a perforation or what? I mean, they're basically portholes. That's what they call it. They call it porthole style leather strap. And it looks cool. It's very fun. The case, again, I don't know if I mentioned, is 43 millimeters wide. So it's that good range of sort of medium that might be large on some people. It's a very medium-sized watch. I like that. Feels good. It's a great looking watch. It's really a handsome looking timepiece. I really think so, and it's a fun thing. Price on the watch, again, it comes with the stop timer, is about $2,900 to $3,000, not exactly sure. Wait for the review to get the exact price. Again, this is the Frederique Constant Healey Chrono, and you can see the full review at blogtoread.com. Thanks.